All right, welcome. Today we're doing a deep dive, a review of a system called Lottery Unlocked. We're going to peel back the layers here, but here's the catch. We're only looking at its own promotional material. We want to see exactly what it promises and how they claim it works, straight from the source.
So let's start with the big one, the question that's on everyone's mind. Can you really predict the lottery? I mean, it's the ultimate fantasy, right? The idea of cracking a code that's supposed to be built on pure random chance.
Well, one system out there, Lottery Unlocked, claims it has the answer. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look inside. And remember, we're just using their own claims to give you a clear, straight-up overview of how they present their product. Okay, so first things first. Let's get right to the core of their pitch, what they call the Quantum Plus promise. So what's the big idea here? What are they really selling you on? So at its heart, the whole system is pitched as this AI tool, one that uses what they've branded a Quantum Plus algorithm. Now I know that sounds super complex, right? But the goal they state is actually pretty simple. It's all about shifting the odds in your favor, basically moving you away from just pure luck and into something they call a more calculated play. And to back all this up, their marketing uses some really powerful language. You'll see these big claims thrown around, like 99.7% accuracy, mathematically proven, scientific formulas. It's pretty clear these words are chosen very carefully to build your confidence and make this system sound like a serious scientific tool, not just another random number generator.
So that's the big promise. But how does it all supposedly work when you actually use it? Well, they break it down into a super simple three-step process.
Okay, so the engine behind it all is called quantum neural processing. According to their own description, this is a proprietary AI that chews through global lottery data, and what it's looking for are, and I'm quoting here, persistent numerical relationships. The idea, in theory, is that it finds these hidden patterns that regular analysis would totally miss, suggesting there's some kind of hidden order inside all those random draws.
And all of that complex-sounding tech, it gets boiled down into this incredibly simple process for you, the user. Step 1, the AI generates numbers for you. Step 2, you go play those tickets. And Step 3, you enjoy the results. And they claim those results will be more frequent wins and higher payouts.
Of course, the million-dollar question is, do they claim it actually works? You bet they do. So let's take a look at the results and success stories they feature right on their page.
So they present the system's performance with these three main stats. First, an 83% predictive accuracy. Second, they talk about a quantum ROI of 3.2x, which they say is the edge you get over just picking random numbers. And third, a 97% AI optimization, which kind of implies the system is always learning and getting better. It's really important to remember, though, these are their internal metrics.
And to put a human face on those numbers, the site uses personal testimonials. This first one here, from a James M., is interesting because it focuses on how often he wins. He's hitting smaller prizes more frequently, which, cleverly manages expectations. It's not all about the big jackpot.
Then you've got this second testimonial from a Sarah L., and this one hits a totally different angle, return on investment. She starts by saying she was skeptical, which of course makes her story feel more relatable, and then she drops a specific number, a win of $4,700, which she says more than paid for the system.
All right, so what's the price of admission? What does it actually cost to get access to this? Let's break down the complete offer, including what you get and what you pay.
Now, to sweeten the deal, the main system comes bundled with a couple of free digital bonuses. You've got the 30-day Prosperity Momentum Plan and the Everyday Millionaire Mindset. And you'll notice each one is given a $97 value, which is a classic move to build up the perceived value of the whole package.
And here it is, the bottom line. The price for lifetime access to the system, plus those bonuses we just talked about, is a one-time payment of $199.97.
Okay, let's get into what might be the most important section, the guarantees and the fine print. These are the details that really frame the entire offer and tell you what you're actually getting into.
So the sales page seems to know people are going to be skeptical because they have a whole FAQ section, and it tackles all the questions you'd expect, right? Like, is this thing guaranteed to win the jackpot? How much of my time is this going to take? And the big one, what happens if it just doesn't work for me?
And that last question, that gets answered with this, a 60-day money-back guarantee. This is a classic sales tactic, and it's all about removing the financial risk for you, the buyer. It makes the whole thing feel like a safe, totally risk-free trial.
And that brings us to what might be the single most important piece of information here, a direct quote from the site's own disclaimer. It says, "Testimonials are not intended to represent or guarantee that anyone will achieve the same or similar results." Wow. So after all that talk about scientific formulas and predictive accuracy, this one sentence kind of brings it all crashing back to reality, doesn't it? It's that classic fine print that reminds you that at the end of the day, in a game of chance, even with a supposed AI edge, there are absolutely positively no guarantees.